Hey, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Tony Cox, and you are listening to Time on Task Over Time. I am the productivity coach with Keller Williams Arizona Realty, and today I'd like to talk briefly about why I decided to call my podcast Time on Task Over Time. And that phrase, to me, really has to do with developing the skills needed to have a successful career.
You know, like nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
And if you think about it, in real estate, we're salespeople. And most of us, frankly, were not born with the ability to sell. Selling it's a talent, it's a skill that can be developed, but it takes practice and it takes time to develop that. Time on task over time, to me, refers to spending time focused on one task over and over again until you get good at it. You're taking time to improve the skill of that task, and over time, you'll end up mastering that skill. Think of your first listing appointment that you ever went on, or think of your first call to an expired listing. Not very impressive, was it? And that's okay. The first time you tried to walk wasn't very impressive either. Or the first time you tried to use a fork, or color with a crayon, or ride a bike. Kids don't have the negative self-talk that keeps them from trying again and again and again until they get it right. But let me ask you, what happened after your first attempt at any form of lead generation, whether it was your first open house or cold calling expireds, or even just calling up your friends and family and asking for referrals? Chances are you probably avoided that activity for a while. And I know some of you have never gone back to it since the first time you did it. And we all know why. It's because lead generating is uncomfortable, and it's especially uncomfortable when you're not familiar with it and when you're not good at it. So how are you going to get better at it? How are you going to do it? Last week we talked about scripting, which I think is very, very important. But it really just comes down to time on task over time. Again, spending time focused on that one task over and over again until you get good at it. It's kind of like fleas. I don't know if you've heard about fleas. You can do interesting things with fleas. You can take a flea, you can put it in a jar, and put a lid on the jar. You can take a flame, put it underneath the jar. Pretty soon the flea says, hey, it's hot down here, and it tries to jump away from the heat. Well, if it jumps too hard, it will hit its head on the underside of the lid. I don't know if its head, whatever it is, it's gonna hit its body on the underside of the lid. Pretty soon the flea says to itself, I can avoid half of my pain if I jump away from the flame, but don't jump high enough to hit the lid. I'll just jump enough to miss the lid. Pretty soon, no more bink, bink, bink on the lid. Now, after that happens, and after the flea has made that connection, you can do an interesting thing. You can take the lid off of the jar, and guess what? Not a single flea will jump out. Why? Well, the flea has learned. Jump too high, hit my head, it hurts, I'm not doing that anymore. Frankly, as humans, we're a lot like that. We think we're going to do something great. I'm going to be great at this real estate industry. I'm going to go out. I'm going to generate all sorts of leads. I'm going to have listings. I'm going to have buyers. I'm going to have commissions coming in. And we go out and we make a fool of ourselves. We stumble over our words. We are timid when it comes time for the close. Frankly, a lot of times we don't know what to say. Our clients have more objections than we have answers for, and we feel stupid. When it comes to time on task over time, I think of two things. First of all, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The longer you spend outside of your comfort zone, the sooner your comfort zone will expand to where you are. That's a truth. Let me say that again. The longer you spend outside of your comfort zone, the sooner your comfort zone will expand to where you are. And the second thought, or the last thought that I have connected with time on task over time is this. By all means, give yourself permission to make mistakes. give yourself permission to make a fool of yourself. And I'm serious about this. What other people think of you is none of your business. And really, do you want to know what it is that they think about you? Because I'll tell you if you want. Right? You're not going to like it. Here's what other people are thinking of you. Nothing. They really aren't thinking anything about you. All right? Stop taking yourself so seriously and go out and do something that's difficult and uncomfortable. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And before you know it, it'll become easy. And you'll be very comfortable doing it. And that's when you're going to start seeing success. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. My email is tonycox@kw.com. Make it a great day.